I'm just so confused on why he would spread such lies about me and what I did to deserve this.
Howdy gamers. So before we start the video, I'm gonna say now that we can't talk about the ongoing court case with Gremlin Kaya for, legal reasons. My team's already on the case, maybe it could be a future story time video. Anyway, this video is gonna be about why I hate Moira and why I think she is the worst support in the whole fucking game, bruh. To talk about why Moira's bad, we must first discuss what makes a support good. Now in my little humble opinion, which is basically facts these days, I think there are 5 things that make supports good. Now what are these 5 things, I hear you ask? Don't you worry that I'm about to tell you. The 5 things that make a support good in Overwatch in my opinion are their survivability, ultimates, abilities, damage assistance, or healing speed. I think that a support must excel in one of these areas to be deemed good. And we're going to talk about why Moira just falls flat in pretty much all of these areas. So let's get into the first point. Okie dokie buddies. So, we're going to be talking about abilities. Now let's just run through them all real quick so we're all up to speed on all the cool abilities this game has to offer. Ana, the ability to sleep dart people and throw an anti, which does both healing to the team and prevents the enemy team from being healed. A crazy ability that's able to cancel ultimates and win team fights. Kiriko, the ability to cleanse teammates from any form of damage and also make them invincible. She also has a cool ability to teleport and wall climb, which makes her survivability insane. Baptiste, the ability to jump high into the sky and also has an immortality field. This immortality field keeps everyone alive inside of the radius as long as it's not destroyed. He also has the ability to press down shift, which puts healing on himself and everyone around it. Zenyatta! Zenyatta is able to just put discards on people, making them take twice as much damage. This is good for melting tanks, and he also has a kick ability for knockback. Mercy, the ability to damage boost the team and also res the team if there was a casualty. She also has a glide ability which is good for maneuverability. Lucio, the ability to keep the entire team speedy during brawl fights and also a boop ability which keeps everyone away from him. Illari, the ability to place down a healing pylon that does crazy amounts of healing at a fast speed and also the ability to shoot into the air if needed to. Lifeweaver, the ability to pull back teammates or to pull them away from dangerous situations. Also the ability to put down a petal which gives you the high ground. Brig, the ability to have a shield bash, a mace, and you give out healing packs. And finally Moira, let me make sure I'm reading this right. Cloak. Okay, yeah, so I made a tier list based on how good I think the abilities are, and I think that I don't even need to explain why Moira's at the end. Her cloak does nothing for her. All it does is dash her away from any potential danger, but then again she's a short range healer, which means then she just turns useless, so she might as well have just died since she can no longer heal the team. She's just a fucking shit hero, guys. Anyway, moving on to the next point. Ultimates. The ability that lets you press a single button and have you win the team fight. Very balanced, guys. So, let's talk about all the cool ultimates this game has to offer for the support category. Ana. The ability to provide Nano, which gives the team member who has it double damage and also resistance. If the person it's given to doesn't have any anti-abilities on them, they can also gain a bit of health from it, keeping tanks alive. Zenyatta. Zenyatta's ultimate basically just turns him into the star from Mario games, keeping everyone alive and himself, making him invincible. Lucio. The ability to give everyone around him and himself large amounts of health which lasts for a fair amount of time. Kiri. The ability to put down a line of fire, which makes everyone, including herself, shoot faster, which can be good at melting teams in a cramped up area. Baptiste, the ability to put down a window, which makes everyone who shoots through it double damage. There's some cool combos with this, such as Reinhardt's Fire Strike, which can one-hit kill certain people. Mercy, the ability to heal and damage boost anyone who's in a close range to each other. Also, the ability to constantly fly in the sky. Illari, the ability to shoot a massive ball at someone, and if that person's killed, it transfers to all the other people, which can cause multiple kills to happen. Lifeweaver. Lifeweaver has the ability to put down a big tree, which gives a fair amount of health, however it can be destroyed fairly easily, but it is pretty, so you've got to give him bonus points for that. Brig. The ability to give everyone, including herself, armor, which can keep them alive for a fair amount of time. And finally, Moira. Once again, let me make sure I'm reading this correctly. Giant Laser. So, what does this giant laser do? It does minimal damage, minimal healing, and that's about it. Okay, once again, here's a tier list ranking all the ultimates, and Moira is once again at the bottom. I just think that Moira's ult is pretty shit, at least compared to all the others. Anyway, moving on once again. Survivability. This is going to be a section just talking about all the abilities each support has and passives to help him survive through dangerous situations. Kiriko. She has the ability to teleport to teammates within a short distance, and also cleanse herself, which makes her invincible for a couple seconds. She also has a wall climb ability to help her get out of situations also. Baptiste. Baptiste has the ability to put down an immortality field, which makes him literally invincible, and also the ability to jump, which can get him above walls and escape from situations as well. Ana. She has a sleep dart and an anti. The sleep dart, if hit, I know some people have trouble hitting that sleep darts, but we're going to assume for the sake of the video that you can hit them. Has the ability to sleep people for about 6 seconds or maybe a bit less, and that should be more than enough time to walk away. Lucio. The ability to speed boost away from any dangerous situation and also boop people away if needed. Zenyatta. A kick ability which does more boop than Lucio's actual boop, and the ability to do high amounts of damage due to his Discord orbs, which can melt people before they even have a chance to jump him. Mercy. The ability to glide around at jet speeds, and I'd honestly nerf Mercy, I don't like Mercy. Anyway. Illari. The ability to put down a healing pylon wherever she wants, and also to jump away with her invincibility glide thing. I don't know, it's pretty cool, it's pretty good. Lifeweaver, this is where it starts to get bad. Lifeweaver does not have a lot of survivability. He has a double jump, but apart from that, he's about just as vulnerable as Zenyatta from Overwatch 1. Brig. Even though on pen and paper it sounds like Brig has a lot of survivability with her mace doing knockback and her shield, she is just made of paper. I swear to God, she is so easily killed, still in bad. And finally, once again, in the horrible tier, we have Moira. Now, what survivability does Moira have, you might be asking? She only has one. Her cloak ability, which does nothing except make her useless due to her short range healing, and also it doesn't even provide that much safety since she can be easily chased down. Once again in horrible, moving on. Damage assistance. Damage assistance is all about how the supports help the team do damage or do damage themselves in order to either break shields or finish off kills. So we're going to talk about them and how they excel, and for once guys, believe it or not, Moira is not at the bottom of the list. Baptiste. Baptiste does a huge amount of damage with his gun already, plus his ultimate which does damage for everyone if used correctly. Baptiste just does, it's just an insane amount of damage. He was actually described as a better soldier back in Overwatch 1 due to his damage, and that's why he's easily number 1. Kiriko. Kiriko, just her knives alone, if you get a headshot, do more damage than Genji's ultimate. Let me repeat that for all you people who complain about Genji. Kiriko's normal ability does more damage than a DPS's ultimate. Zenyatta. Zenyatta does a lot of damage just from his base kit alone, but he also has the ability to do Discord orbs, which make it so they take more damage. This just is insane, and I cannot believe it's not nerfed yet. Mercy. Mercy has the ability to damage boost pretty much everyone on the team if her ultimate is activated, or one person at a time if her DPS is lacking. And that's why Mercy is easily up there for also inflicting damage or just amplifying damage. Next up I'll put Illari. Illari doesn't amplify damage in any way, but she is a fucking DPS trapped in a support's body, which is why Kaya loves her so much. She is insane. Her ultimate is insane, her primary fire is insane, she's just an insane character, and that's why she's also in good. Ana. Ana has the ability to do long range damage, and it's a fair amount of damage to be fair. It takes about 4, maybe 3 shots to kill someone. She also has the ability to throw anti, which is also good for damage. Lucio. Lucio is a menace. He is like the Tracer of the support world, a fucking mosquito that goes around just jumping on walls, getting headshots, booping people. It's insane. Lucio's insane. Put him up there. And for the first time, not in terrible, we have Moira. Moira is not the worst in terms of doing damage in the support category. However, she definitely is far from the best. Her damage, although it's easy to aim because you don't have to aim and also, you know, you don't have to reload, is kind of unfortunate that it's slow damage, so it doesn't really do much, but it can be helpful, I guess, in finishing off some kills in certain situations. And I put Brig and Lifeweaver in horrible. I'm not going to talk about why I put them in horrible because this video is not about them, but just I can't really say that Moira's worse than them. I can't do that in good faith. Anyway, moving on to the next point. So, healing speed. Healing speed is the speed at which healers can basically, you know, they can just heal you. That's pretty much it. Just how fast they are healing you. So, and for all you Moira players out there, good news. Not only is she not in the bottom tier, She's also in good this time. Oh my god, we're going crazy with it. Now, let's go through them at the top, and I'm going to ignore the ones below Moira because once again this video is not about them. So, Ana, amazing. Ana's heals are instant. It is just, she gives a long range support who can also do short range if used correctly. And her healing speed is insane. It lasts for a very long time until you have to reload, but even then that doesn't take too long. She even has anti as well if that does happen. That's why she's just amazing. Baptiste's healing speed is also very good. He doesn't have to reload that often, but when he does have to reload, he also has a shift ability where like he can just do large amounts of healing to both himself and those he stood around. Baptiste is very good for healing speed. Kiriko has good healing speed, it's just it takes a while for her actual like pieces of paper to reach him, which is why you got to play kind of close to them. But apart from that, her healing speed is very good. And then in good we have Illari. I think just Illari's turret, or pylon I should say, is already extremely good for healing speed. It just, look at the way that it's healing these bots extremely quickly. It doesn't have like any cooldowns whatsoever. It is insane, and I think they're going to nerf it at some point. And then in good for the first time, let's get a round of applause please for Moira. Now Moira does have good healing speed. Well, she's the worst main healer in the game, but Moira does have good healing speed, and I think that even though it's good, it's still kind of like, even though she's in good for this category, it doesn't really mean much because her healing runs out so quickly and then she just has to do damage to get it back. In my opinion, I think they should have switched it around, so I think that it should have been the damage that runs out and the healing that stays constant. That way it would, you know, kind of encourage players to heal more and do damage less instead of it being the other way around. That's my little 2 cents on it. Anyway, moving forward on to why I think people play Moira. Okay, so I'm going to pull up a list now which shows all the tier lists we made, explaining why the characters are just good in their own ways or bad in their own ways. Now, as you can see, for most of them, Moira is either at the bottom or she is up high, but has ways that kit counters itself, such as her high healing speed being cancelled out by the fact that she can only do it for a certain amount of time. So you might be looking at this and wondering, wow, if every other support is really better than Moira, why do people still play Moira? Well, I've done some research in this, you know, I got some mentally disabled people in a room, I put them on Moira, and then these are the two main arguments I've got from them. So, the first reason people play Moira is because she is an easy, skillless character. With Moira, you don't have to aim, you don't have to position, you can just kind of breeze through it, put on your little damage boost, not have to aim, just look in their general direction. She's an easy character to pick up, but that's why people are scared to move away from her, because the other characters actually take skill and aim and positioning, which is intimidating for some, especially those that can't hit their shots. And also, I think the second reason why Moira is picked is because it hates me to compliment her, but she's probably one of the more fun supports to play in the game simply because of this fact. I think Moira is very fun to play because you can't just turn off your brain, you can't just do some damage, you know, you don't have to focus strictly on heal botting. And I think that's another reason she's picked up a lot. Even though these are fairly good reasons as to why people play the character, I still think that it's just horrible to just, you know, as a tank player myself, having a Moira on your team and then going, oh, fuck, we're losing this game. Because that's just the way it is, you know. If their team has supports that are playing any other character, they're going to have an advantage from the very beginning. As they say, it's a loss from a loading screen. And this is why I just hate people who fucking one-trick Moira, who constantly get in my games when I'm trying to climb, you know. Me, climb. As if that's ever going to happen. But I think I would have a better chance of both of these fucking Moira players. Anyway, now I've discussed why I think people play Moira, and now I'm going to do my final section of the video, Jake's little rant. When I say little, it's not going to be little. Moira, Moira, Moira. Do you know how fucking annoying it is to have to put in my games every single time? Having to swap off all the fun tanks and having to insta-lock Hog because your healing just isn't going to be enough? Having to fucking just sit miserably as I'm anti because you can't cleanse me? Having to just constantly watch their tank zoom around the map because you can't offer me speed? I fucking hate Moira so much. She is constantly putting me at a disadvantage and herself and the team at a disadvantage. You know, as tank, I like to consider myself a team captain because that's what tank is. Moira, you'd be fucking benched if I had that option. I would ban her if they brought back hero bans. Moira would never see the light of day again simply because I just can't risk having her in my fucking games, man. She doesn't do well in healing speed, even though it's fast, it doesn't last long. She doesn't do well in survivability. She doesn't do that well in damage. She doesn't do that fucking well in anything. Her ultimate is dog shit. I think that Moira is nothing more than an SR terrorist. She is a terrorist. I think that she is insane. how much she's given leeway just because of how fun she is. I fucking hate Moira. She's the worst character in the game. She's probably the reason why all of you are either stuck in gold or silver. Fucking get off Moira. It is a disease. Moira is a disease. Get off that character. Break free from the slave mind. Fuck Moira, and fuck you all for playing Moira. I'm so angry. Fuck you. Anyway, that's all. Goodbye.